Aren't you afraid that you know now a lot of nonsense is happening because of a bunch of things, beheadings and all this. We are in 2022, by the way, and Nupur Sharma said something. So I mean, I'm seeing a lot of things on TV where you can't talk about gods, you can't manipulate even core, simple, basic, easy to people. Minor edits are being attacked. So aren't you afraid when you're making when you're writing such things that you would be attacked by fringe or some mainstream? I'm not saying fringe, I'm saying even mainstream, because normalcy is like moving on the other side.
The whole entire intention is to plant fear, and
by you
plant fear in each and everyone. Sorry,
your intention.
I'm not afraid. No,
your intention is to plant fear, or you're saying
no. Intention of the people is to plant fear among communities and tell them that if you don't do this, or if you do this, you will have to face the consequence. Okay, whatever the consequence is. Because I know that, I'm not afraid. Okay, I don't want to live in a country or a land which is scared of somebody or someone, or just because religion is being. First of all, I'm a non-believer. I don't believe in God, but I believe in love.
Okay.
I believe in affection. I believe in inclusivity. And therefore, religion is something that I would not at all would want to use it, or I don't want anybody to use religion against religion as a strategy.
Sure.
So I should tell you one thing, Karnataka nowadays, you have been seeing all kinds of things that are going on, It all began with hijab, then halal, then Muslim vendors not being allowed to sell in the places in Udupi, in the coastal Karnataka, and there have been protests all over. One really beautiful thing that happened was, on the 14th of March, I forgot the thing, whenever, people from Udupi requested that it's not just people who install fear and people who get scared. This land doesn't belong to them. We need peace. We need calmness.
Yeah.
So they invited people from all over. There were thousands of people who ended. I was there. I went, and there were thousands of people who landed up in Udupi. And you just don't. It was called a peace march, and youngsters, all in their 20s, boys and girls. It was very hot. They were just providing water to people. Food was arranged so well. Not even one person said any slogan against anyone. All the slogans were arguing for peace. And there were songs, there were dance, there was march, and the city saw something which it had never imagined. And priests from different dharmas were also invited to come and speak. They spoke for a harmonious land that we need.
But within what you do as a poet, did you say something? I'm interested in this conversation is about the power of poetry, the power of speech, the power of. As a poet, yes, there were people who read poems, read poems for peace, and I also wrote a poem which I presented. Now,
and which I will read it today.
And this is what I'm asking: is poetry in a situation like this, gonna really? Okay, it helps. So I'll be a little blunt over here. It seems like a filler, like reading a poem on a stage. No offense to you. I'm saying it's like at a time when it fits these things. It fits these peace marches. It doesn't fit. I don't know how to say it. It's a little more. It's a little more passive. It's not offensive. Can poetry be aggressive? Has poetry changed the world?
Yeah, poetry, for example, Dalit movement.
Oh yeah.
If you take Dalit movement, Kannada Dalit writers are amazing. Dalit writers from Marathi are amazing. Everywhere they are amazing.
Yeah.
Our Devanur Mahadeva is one of the finest writers. Right now, people are abusing him. He has written a wonderful book about RSS. And it's this thing, what is RSS doing to this nation? Mahadeva has written a book recently.
Is it about poetry?
People are active. No, it's not poem. It's not a poetry. It is, Devanur Mahadeva wrote a novel called Kusuma Bale. People, when the book came out, all Kannada great minds, critics said that, oh, what is this? This is written in a language where you cannot read. You need a translation for this novel.
Yeah.
Kannada translation for this novel. Because the language used was the language of Dalits from a particular region.
Okay.
So, we as a team, people from theatre, I and some poets, everybody came together and one theatre director directed this and we presented the novel like poetry.
Nice.
Because if you recite it, the novel comes.
Yeah.
So therefore, and also I should tell you one more thing, what poetry does. We all went to Vietnam. Okay. I was invited to Vietnam for a poetry festival where 30 poets from all over the world ended up there. And there were 4 lanes. On one side we were in our guest house. You had to cross all the 4 lanes to reach that venue where event was happening.
Yeah.
So one of the Vietnamese poet, she would help us cross the lane. One day and I was saying, oh, this is so common in India, we do every day,
Yeah.
No issues at all. And one day she did not come. They said, okay, Mamta, now you have to help us. I said, okay, I'll help. But nothing stopped. People zoom, they would keep going in Hanoi.
Yeah.
And, suddenly I started reciting a 15th century poetry from Kumara Vyasa Bharata. Shivaniteyara rasane vimala rajiva pitana pitane jagakati pavanane sanakadi sajjana nikaradatara ravanasura matana sada vinutana katana karana kavudu gadugina veera narayana. Stopped.
Nice.
We crossed the road. I said, see, poetry helps you cross roads in life. And when we were in Hyderabad, whoever came from Bangalore would ask me to take them shopping.
Yeah.
In the old city. Old city is so crowded, and I never liked too much crowd. I would recite Suprabhata. Kamala kucha chuchuka kunkumato niyataru nitalu nilatano jaiva venkatapai shailapate, and I would walk. Poetry really helps me put steps.
Yeah.
The sound, the music, I have also performed with poets from Italian poets, poets from German poets, and I have collaborated with poets from Welsh language, and I have collaborated and designed performances, and we have done it.
Nice.